What's up everyone, Lion Roar here, and I'm back with another Gods Unchained video, and in this one I'm going to show you a really fun and actually pretty good kitty cat deck. But first, join me over in Gemstone Legends. It's a fantastic match 3 RPG game, and it's players that get in early on games like this that are at the biggest advantage. Not only will you help the channel out by using the link in the description of this video, but you're going to get a free epic hero named Moralia along with a bunch of gold, gems, and potions. After you download the game, you'll have access to events which will get you even more amazing heroes and loot. Guys, wow, you don't want to miss this opportunity because you do not get it in the regular app store. Download it now, and I will see you in Gemstone Legends. Alright, so first I'm going to break down the kitty cat deck, and then of course I'm going to play a ranked match with it so that you can see it in action. But make sure you're subscribed and hit the bell notification because I will be putting out more kitty cat deck videos in the next couple of days. Now, let's take a look at the actual deck itself. As you can see with the mana curve, it is a really aggressive deck with most of the cards costing 2, and then the second most amount of the cards in the deck cost 1. Most of your cards are going to be coming out on turns 1 and 2, and of course this makes trying to mulligan a little easier. We have some powerful kitty cats at the 3 mana spot, and then our 4s, 5s, and 6 here. There's not a lot of them, but they should round things out for you and finish off the game. Now I'm going to go through everything in the deck by its mana cost, so we'll start with 1 and then 2 and then 3, so I'm going to jump back and forth between the nature and neutral cards. But some of these cards are going to seem familiar because of course they show up in a lot of good nature decks. Some of them are going to be unfamiliar but have some really cool abilities that go with them, like the Feral Cat. So the Feral Cat costs 1 mana and is a 2/1 with Roar. Deal 1 damage to the enemy god, and if you're frenzied, deal 2 damage to a random enemy character instead. Now, remember that this has Roar, and remember the other creatures that I put out. They're going to have Roar as well. That's important in this deck. Not only is it thematically awesome, but there's some actual synergy with this. Separate from that, this is a creature that even though it's a 1 mana 2/1, you're probably not going to play it on the very first turn. You kind of want to get some frenzy damage in because this can act like removal. And when you get removal on a stick like this, if it can come down and get rid of another creature, or at least deal a lot of damage to it, that's extremely powerful. So maybe hold this one back a little bit and play out some of your other cards first. Like Midnight Cat, a 1 mana 2/2 with flank and Roar, give a friendly creature flank. So if you have another creature out, you can give it flank. If you don't have another creature out, it's a perfectly fine first turn type of play here. It also has flank, and the flank is an underrated ability, especially if you get this out later in the game, to actually get around their frontline creatures and deal that finishing damage. We also have another underrated creature that's a 1 mana 2/2 Felid Protector, and you don't often see this one played, but it's kitty cat, so it has to be here, and it has frontline, which actually does deal with a lot of the early stuff in the game pretty easily. So back at 2 mana, we have a 2 mana 3/3 Black Jaguar. Very common card in all the very good nature decks, so I don't think I need to explain this one. Self-explanatory here. We also have the 2 mana Canopy Barrage. Same thing. You see this in a lot of decks. Fantastic removal. We have the Felid Tracker. I'll tell you what, this is not a great card. It is a 2 mana 5/1, so it's a lot of strength. And it does have flank, so it could potentially get around the stronghold creatures. The problem is, of course, that 1 health. There's a lot of god powers and things that this can just end up being card disadvantage if they get to use a god power and kill it. But hey, I'll tell you what, it's got to be in the deck. It's a kitty cat, and that's a lot of strength, and we're really aggressive, and oftentimes you are faster than them, so you can hopefully get at least 1 hit in with this creature. We also have the Eager Griffin, a 2 mana 2/3 that says whenever your opponent casts a spell, this creature gains 2 strength. And this one is super sneaky. Your opponent's not going to see this coming. In fact, a lot of opponents kind of just ignore text on cards. They shouldn't do this, but they often ignore text on cards that they're not super familiar with because they're like, oh, that must be a bad card. Then they start playing their spells, and this thing grows big fast, and they're like, what the heck is happening? Why did that Griffin get so big? Then you have the Felid Janissary for a 2 mana 2/1 that gives +1/+1 to a friendly creature. This one's probably familiar to a lot of you too, but another just sort of hasty damage that can come out and grow a creature and sneak some damage in and potentially make a creature that didn't look that difficult to deal with on your side of the board more difficult to deal with. Back at the 3 mana, we have a Revenant Lynx that is a 3 mana 4/2 with Confused and Roar, refresh 2 mana. So what this really says is it's a 1 mana 4/2 creature with Confused, which is amazing. And the catch, of course, is that you have to put it out on turn 2 if you have the extra mana gem, or turn 3. We also have Lightning Strike at 3 mana, more just excellent removal that you see in a lot of decks. And then we have the Nemean Lion. So this is our legendary creature that provides the ultimate flavor to the entire deck. Not that the deck hinges on this particular creature, but this just encapsulates what this deck is. It is a 3 mana 2/2 that says frontline, gain +1/+1 when a creature with Roar enters the board. Listen, that's a great ability because most of the creatures in this deck, it's going to have synergy with. They come down, they have Roar, your Nemean Lion grows, and it gets bigger and bigger. I almost root for this thing to get bigger and bigger and get the +1/+1 from the Roar effect. Not only because it's good, but because I'm just like, yes! So much flavor, right? The Nemean Lion roaring on the Lion Roar channel. Go, go, go. I want to hear those things roar. I want to see this thing grow. Of course, it all depends on if you can like land this thing and stick it and they don't remove it. At our 4 mana, this is how we're really going to go over the top. We have the Sphinx Cat. Oftentimes with an aggressive deck like this, you're going to get a lot of creatures down early, and your opponent is going to be able to deal with them at some point after you've already dealt a significant amount of damage. So now you have usually about like 10 damage left to deal. But if they've dealt with your board, what are you going to do? Well, Sphinx Cat is going to come down as a 4 mana 3/2 and put 2 1/1 Broken Warriors on the board. So 3 cards for 1. That is some card advantage in a deck that badly needs it. And not only that, there's some synergy with some of these other top end cards like Veneer Lion, which is a 4 mana 5/3 that comes down and gives a friendly creature +2 strength until end of turn. That +2 is really important in trying to sneak through that last little bit of damage potentially. And the Veneer Lion with 5 strength is just really good at, you know, at the very least being able to maybe remove one of their big creatures potentially, or just help really smash through some of that last damage. And then Sing Song Satyr, not a kitty cat, but no kitty cat deck would be complete without a kitty cat lady or man or kitty cat person. We need a cat person in the deck. So we got Sing Song Satyr, who comes down. It says Roar, so it still counts. Give each other friendly creature +1 strength. And this is your top end. If you have a couple creatures down there, that's often all you need to win the game. We do have a couple of higher costing cards. Jaguar's Staff is amazing. If you don't have this card, go get it because it's not only useful in this deck, but a number of other nature decks. The turn it comes down, you can use it as removal because it has Blitz. It's got 2 strength and it's got 2 durability. After your god attacks, summon a black jaguar. So it comes down, potentially removes one of their creatures or damages it a lot, so it makes it easier for one of your other creatures to remove it. And then you get one of those black jaguars for it. Again, just another card with amazing flavor in this deck. A relic that's creating more cats. How cool is that? And then, of course, the Hunt. There's a jaguar in this card. 6 mana, deal 8 damage randomly split among all enemy creatures. That's one of the best removal spells in the game, and it's in nature, and oftentimes will deal with whatever it is your opponent's finally being able to put down to deal with your board. All right, so if you're interested in playing this deck, I will put a link to this page in the description of this video where if you scroll down, you can click copy deck code and then just paste that right into your Gods Unchained game and it will assemble it for you. You might have to go out and get a couple of these cards, but without further ado, let's jump in and play a match. All right, we got some really expensive cards in hand, so we're gonna try and get this mana curve down. Keep going, keep going. I hope that's gonna be good enough. We know we have a turn 1 play at least.
The calm before the storm.
All right, we got a couple turn 1 plays here.
Best of luck.
Let's just try and get this down and see if we can't get frenzied next turn for the feral cat. We'll try. Ooh, nice. And sure, why not? It's just an aggressive hit. They can potentially use their god power here. So lucky. They had a 50% chance, so I mean it is what it is, but
I will not back down.
yeah. I could potentially play the Jaguar Staff next turn since Sing Song Satyr is not going to do much.
Awaken.
Yeah, that's good removal. Alright, let's see what... I'm surprised they really haven't been playing creatures yet, so we'll see. Yeah. I've got some good removal on my side of the board, though, but now I'm thin on creatures, and Sing Song Satyr really doesn't work with not having many creatures out. Interesting. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's just work on getting these creatures out. And playing the god power literally does nothing, so pass the turn.
Nature is often unpredictable.
Okay. Well, I have the hunt. So I wonder... Yeah. He'll probably attack me with this to get frenzied. Oh no, he's got to attack my frontline creature, so he can't get frenzied. That's good.
Answer the call.
Alright. The hunt. Do I do the hunt right now? No, I can't do the hunt right now. So I'm going to... Okay. Well, 2, 4... Yeah, I'm kind of okay dealing 2 damage here to help get rid of this thing.
Is it time to hibernate already?
Nah, let's go with the face. I think I want to be aggressive. And I really wish I had an extra mana for the fellow Janissary, but... we'll do it this way. Oh yeah, that works. So we'll get rid of 1 durability off of that and pass.
Okay, I can do this.
We will need every bit of the hunt next turn.
Until the next life. Awaken.
Alright. So, I mean, just kill that thing.
Be free.
Okay, deal 2 damage to an enemy, or nope, they're just done. Alright, good.